Now, sister, what's the comfort?
Why, as all comforts are, most good indeed. Lord Angelo, having affairs to heaven, intends you for his swift ambassador, where you shall be an everlasting lieger. Therefore your best appointment make with speed. Tomorrow you set on.
Is there no remedy?
None, but such remedy as to save a head would cleave a heart in twain.
Is there any?
Yes, brother, you may live. There is a devilish mercy in the judge if you'll implore it, that will free your life, but fetter you till death.
Perpetual durance?
Ay, just perpetual durance, a restraint, though all the world's vastity you had, to a determined scope.
But in what nature?
In such a one as, you consenting to it, would bark your honour from that trunk you bear, and leave you naked.
Let me know the point.
Oh, I do fear thee, Claudio, and I quake lest thou a feverish life should entertain in 6 or 7 winters more respect than a perpetual honour. Darest thou die? The sense of death is most in apprehension, and the poor beetle that we tread upon in corporal sufferance finds a pang as great as when a giant dies.
Why give you me this shame? Think you I can resolution fetch from flowery tenderness? If I must die, I will encounter darkness as a bride and hug it in my arms.
There spake my brother, there my father's grave did utter forth a voice. Yes, thou must die. Thou art too noble to conserve a life in base appliances. This outward sainted deputy, whose settled visage and deliberate word nips youth in the head and follies doth immue, as falcon doth the fowl, is yet a devil. His filth within being cast, he would appear a pond as deep as hell.
The Prinzy Angelo.
'Tis the cunning livery of hell, the damnedest body to invest and cover in frenzy guards. Dost thou think, Claudio, if I would yield him my virginity, thou mightst be freed?
Oh heavens, it cannot be!
Yes, he would give it thee from this rank offence, so to offend him still. This night's the time that I should do what I abhor to name, or else thou diest tomorrow.
Thou shalt not do it.
Oh, were it but my life, I'd throw it down for your deliverance as frankly as a pin.
Thanks, dear Isabel.
Be ready, Claudio, for your death tomorrow.
Yes. Has he affections in him that this can make him bite the law by the nose when he would force it? Sure, it is no sin. Or of the deadly 7, it is the least.
Which is the least?
If it were damnable, he being so wise, why would he for the momentary trick be purgably fined? Oh, Isabel!
What says my brother?
Death is a fearful thing.
And shamed life a hateful.
Aye, but to die, and go we know not where, to lie in cold obstruction and to rot, this sensible warm motion to become a needed clod, the delighted spirit, to bathe in fiery floods, or to reside in thrilling region of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds, and blown with restless violence round about the pendant world, or to be worse than worst of those that lawless and uncertain thought imagine howling. 'Tis too horrible. The weariest, most loathed worldly life that age, ache, penury, and imprisonment can lay on a nature is a paradise to what we fear of death.
Alas, alas!
Sweet sister, let me live. What sin ye do to save a brother's life? Nature dispenses with the deed so far that it becomes a virtue.
Oh, you beast! Oh, faithless coward! Oh, dishonest wretch! Wilt thou be made a man out of my vice? Is not a kind of incest to take life from thine own sister's shame? What should I think? Heaven shield my mother played my father fair, for such a warped slip of wilderness never issued from his blood. Take my defiance, die, perish! Might but my bending down reprieve thee from thy fate, it should proceed. I'll pray 1,000 prayers for thy death, no word to save thee.
Nay, hear me, Isabel.
Fie, thy sin's not accidental, but a trade. Mercy to thee would prove itself abhorred, 'tis best thou diest quickly.
Oh, hear me, Isabella.
The hand that hath made you fair hath made you good. The goodness that is cheap in beauty makes beauty brief in goodness, but grace, being the soul of your complexion, shall keep the body of it ever fair. The assault that Angelo hath made to you, fortune hath conveyed to my understanding, and but that frailty hath examples for his falling, I should wonder at Angelo. How will you do to content this substitute, and to save your brother?
I am now going to resolve him. I had rather my brother die by the law than my son should be unlawfully born. But oh, how much is the good Duchess deceived in Angelo! If ever she return and I can speak to her, I will open my lips in vain or discover his government.
That shall not be much amiss. Yet, as the matter now stands, he will avoid your accusation. He made trial of you only. Therefore fasten your ear on my advisings. To the love I have in doing good, a remedy presents itself. I do make myself believe that you may most uprighteously do a poor wronged lady a merited benefit, redeem your brother from the angry law, do no stain to your own gracious person, and much please the absent Duchess, if peradventure she shall ever return to have hearing of this business.
Let me hear you speak, father. I have spirit to do anything that appears not foul in the truth of my spirits.
Virtue is bold, and goodness never fearful. Have you not heard speak of Mariana, the sister of Frederick, the great soldier who was miscarried at sea?
I have heard of the lady, and good words went with her name.
She should, this Angelo, have married, was affianced to her by oath, and the nuptial appointed, between which time of the contract and the limit of the solemnity her brother Frederick was wrecked at sea, having in that perished vessel the dowry of his sister. But mark how heavily this befell to the poor gentlewoman. There she lost a noble and renowned brother, in his love toward her ever most kind and natural, and with him the portion and sinew of her fortune, her marriage dowry. With both, her combinate husband, this well-seeming Angelo.
Can this be so? Did Angelo so leave her?
Left her in tears, and dried not one of them with his comfort, swallowed his vows whole, pretending in her discoveries of dishonour, in few bestowed on her her own lamentation, which she yet wears for his sake, and he, a marble to her tears, is washed with them, but relents not.
What a merit were it in death to take this poor maid from the world! What corruption in this life that it will let this man live! But how out of this can she avail?
It is a rupture that you may easily heal, and the cure of it not only saves your brother, but keeps you from dishonour in doing it.
Oh, show me how, good sister.
This forenamed maid hath yet in her the continuance of her first affection, his unjust unkindness, that in all reason should have quenched her love, hath, like an impediment in the current, made it more violent and unruly. Go you to Angelo, answer his requiring with a plausible obedience, agree with his demands to the point, only refer yourself to this advantage first, that your stay with him may not be too long, that the time may have all shadow and silence in it, and the place answer to convenience. This being granted in course, and now follows all. We shall advise this wronged maid to stead up your appointment, go in your place. If the encounter acknowledge itself hereafter, it may compel him to her recompense, and here, by this, is your brother saved, your honour untainted, the poor Mariana advantaged, and the corrupt deputy scaled. The maid will I frame and make fit for his attempt, if you think well to carry this as you may. The doubleness of the benefit defends the deceit from reproof. What think you of it?
The image of it gives me content already, and I trust it will grow to a most prosperous perfection.
It lies much in your holding up. Haste you speedily to Angelo. If for this night he entreat you to his bed, give him promise of satisfaction. I will presently to St. Luke's. There, at the moated grange, resides this dejected Mariana. At that place call upon me, and dispatch with Angelo, that it may be quickly.
I thank you for this comfort. Fare you well, good sister.